Hello developers, in this part 2 of this video tutorial, I am excited to use the unlimited video functionalities as per the TikTok. You can either scroll up or down. Instead of the hard-coded videos, we can directly use the URLs and play n number of videos with catching functionalities. Hope you are getting excited. Let's start the implementation. Before going to that, here I am going to use Pixels API, which is a free form of video function. So by using the Pixels API, I can get n number of video files URLs by using which we can implement this. Can just change the page and the number of items per page in the response to get the desired functionalities. So to implement this, I'm going to use a retrofit service to make the API call. To use the retrofit service, I'm just going to go to the build.gradle and libs version.toml. So here we need to initialize our retrofit libraries. After that only we can use this in our project. So let's say com square up dot retrofit to name equal to retrofit and it's a version dot ref equal to retrofit. So by using this function, by using this method, we can able to download all the dependencies for retrofit libraries. For this version reference, you need to declare here. I'm going to use 2.11.0. Similarly, Control D, and also I'm going to use another dependency named retrofit JSON converter JSON because we are going to use JSON format while passing this data. Okay, so once we sync this project, we need to go to build.gradle. You can see in build it download the necessary retrofit libraries. So let me wait. Once it getting done, we can add here like implementation of, you can see setup the configuration. Yeah, it's done. Libs.retrofit. Similarly, I just duplicate it. Retrofit.json. Here it's hyphen. Here we use this dot. Okay. So again, using this, the library can be used throughout this project. Hope we used the retrofit library initialized in our project. We can directly start using for the API fetching. Okay, I'm just going to use a package named API by which I'm going to use retrofit helper class file retrofit service. First I'm going to create a service which is the interface. You may know, right? Interface will extend this function while implementation. So I'm going to use interface get. Once the retrofit is successfully downloaded, you can use like this get. You can see this endpoints, right? V1 videos popular. This is the endpoint I'm going to use here. Just copy and paste here. Basically, this helps us to connect our app within the endpoints. Okay. Query. So what is the query here? Page and per page. So we need to pass the query page int value and again a query named page, per page, and per page also a int. let it be for our application. I'm going a default value of 10. Okay, so we are connecting our endpoint, but you can see we need to connect our base URL. Okay, so for this I'm going to use a thing called object of retrofit helper, by which we can able to connect the base URL, by which we can create a client. Okay, so if you didn't understand anything, let it be fine, we can understand on the way. Okay, HTTP client, just import this dot builder dot build val API of retrofit service. This is the type by lazy of retrofit builder retrofit dot build. Alt enter to input here. Okay, dot I'm going to use a base URL. Here our base URL is api.pixels.com. So let it be, and client is HTTP client. This is our client, and add converter factory, JSON converter factory. Just import this again, dot class, just create. So why do we need to use JSON converter factory? Because our response is in key value pair JSON format, so it automatically handles and convert the response. Build create of retrofit service dot class.java. So this is the standard way of making any API calls within our application by adding an endpoint and making our client. So this major step is done. Before making the API call, we need to add an internet permission in Android manifest file. So go to the Android manifest file. It will open by double shift. You can just enter Android manifest and click. You can see this users permission, internet permission. So now our application can able to access the internet and make API calls. Okay, so this endpoints will return a JSON object as we discussed. Okay, so that will in the format of data class. So for this I'm going to create a one data class like video response in model. So this video response will be returned by our API call. So video response, what the video response contains, you can see video response contains videos, and within the list you can better see here video response contain videos. Within the list you can find video files and link for MP4, quality for SD. So these things we are needed here. So without wasting time, I just added here itself. Val videos list of pixels video serialized name next page. You may get confused what is next page here. You can see the next page. If it is there, you can it can have more videos. Okay, so next page videos I added here. Videos will return a list of this response. Why serialized name? Because API will return the snake case, our app should use the camel case. To convert this, I using the serialized name, nothing much. So these should be the basics for making an API call. If you don't worry, just rewatch this video. Pixels video of here I am going to use serialized name, video files, val video files, list of video file. What is video files here? Within the list of videos, one model is there called video files. Video files also contains the list of this model. Data class video file. What we decided here, quality and link. Link just a string. You can use serialized name either or not, because both should be same name only. So that is apart from you. Make sure you need to add nullable in every API response so that app won't crash if the value is null. So this is one of the best practices while making the API call. So hope this part is done. So it can add it as endpoints. So once we make the call, it will return this model. So we can use this model in our application. And here I am going to use MVVM approach. We are already using our MVVM approach. So what is MVVM? Our view UI component is view. Our data classes are model, and the logic that made the API call should be in ViewModel. So by using ViewModel only, we can fetch the data and show it on UI. So this is basic of MVVM. If you know already, that's fine. Else you can understand more while implementing. So for this, I already have model and view. I'm going to create another package named ViewModel. Sorry. Just create another package, new package named ViewModel. Here I'm going to use home view model file. So by using home view model, I'm able to make the API call and show the UI on our application. So before that, I'm going to maintain a states like home UI state, which is a data class. If you don't understand anything, just feel free to pause and rewind the video. So video. So for one state, it is a video which contains a list of strings. That initialize that empty list, and it can be a loading state. For example, If video is there, it just show the video on TikTok screen. Else in loading state, it just show a loader. Okay. In error state, it need to show a error on the screen. If has more, that which means it also has more videos, because our make the app limit as 10 right here. So while reaching 80 video or 90 video, we need to make an API call to fetch further more videos. For this, has more is there, has more equal to true. If it is the end of the API, has more should be false, and if we stop the fetching the data. So these should be the UI states, and we manage the data in the your home view model. Class home view model. Let's say view model and use the state private val state mutable state flow. So it will handle the state as per the page is loading, video is playing, error state, that kind of it will automatically handle by here. As state flow, it is stating the value, it is we are going to consume this. So what is flow? That also another topic. Flow in Android. You can check the documentation here. Whenever the value is updating, which means I just tell simply, whenever the API call is done, it will send the data to the UI and it will coherently update the UI as per the new data. So for this, I'm going to use flow. You can check and study more about on documentations. Private path next page equal to first one. So I need to send this right.
It's
Page
7
1, 2, 3,
o'clock.
4. For this, I'm going to use next page. Init. Init functions on view model will be executed on first time. First time when view model is initialized, I'm going to fetch the videos. Okay. Fetch videos. View model scope dot launch. So always we make the before we make the API call, we need to use a scope functions. Here I'm going to use view model scope as it is my view model. So what is scope? It will destroy once the API, once the page got destroyed. So it is a life cycle coherent things that also you can study later. Value is equal to, let's say, state dot current value. So as I already say, this is for updating, this is for reading, this is for writing. If it is in loading state or if it doesn't have further more videos, then just return it. Else I'm going to set the value something like so you can clearly see before making the API call I make it as loading true. Once making the after the API call I make this as false. That is happening here. Use try catch always to make API calls, else app will crash. While result equal to fetch popular videos of type next page. next page plus plus. Once first page is done, we can proceed to next page, right? State dot update it dot copy video equal to it dot video plus result dot it will return. We'll write this function later. Has more is result plus has more. So this also need to do, and loading false. As I said previously, once the API call is done, we make this as false. So if you feel vague, let's pass and feel free to do slowly because it's more theory related concepts. IO exception and catch and normal exceptions. IO exception means there is no data coming. So it may simply happens like no internet connection, that thing. It may have normal error. So we can do something to show this on UI. So before that, let's write a function to fetch popular videos. Private function fetch popular videos of page int per page 10. I just make it as 10 always. Feel free to update later. Val response equal to retrofit helper dot API dot popular of page per page. So this is suspend function. Suspend function can happen within the suspend function. Okay. So what is suspend function? So it will act as a separate parallel coroutine, which is separate kind of thread. Without disturbing the UI, it will run on background to fetch the API call. So you can study more on suspend functions later. Val URLs of video URLs response dot videos. Val has more response dot next page. If the next page is there, we can check, right? Next page is not equal to null. There is something is there on has more. We can return, and this will return a model of fetch result with URLs and has more. So let me create a data class on model. So data class, let's result of val URLs, val has more true pictures video just input this, and that's it. You need to give the return type. Fetch result. Cool. So once fetch popular videos is done, it will result URLs and result.has mode. So you can see list of string. It's also a list of string only. Home US list of string, list of string. Yeah, but before you can see it's a type of list of pixel video, not a string, because it is just a, it's not just provide the link. So for this I'm going to use or empty of map not null video pick video URL of IT. So that's gonna pass like this. Function pick video URL and return a string. Hope it now works. So once it returns a string, we can proceed further. Video files. It can have n number of files, right? So if it is empty, just return null. For file in files, you need to check only for HD quality file. If file.quality equal to HD, then return file.link. Nothing also fine. We can return any files first or null, not link. Yeah, hope it works better. So this map function will loop all the videos and just check for HD is there and return is string. And returns of fetch URL is a string only. Just remove this. Cool. So hope it works better. ViewModel implementation is done. Just we are coming to the end of this video. We need to set up the UI on home. Yeah, to inject the ViewModel, I'm going to use a variable called ViewModel home ViewModel by ViewModels. It be like this, something like this. So you can import this and directly use this within our function. I am passing this ViewModel on the home screen. Then home screen should be something like ViewModel home ViewModel. Okay, so if we pass any params, preview can't work. So let me delete these videos as we are going to use something else. We'll state by ViewModel dot state dot collect text. So it will collect the recent updated state for the UI. state dot videos. Since we use mutable state flow, it will directly update here. Whenever the value changes, the URLs got updated. So page state is already there. I am just going to use URLs dot size. Requires at least. Total page count should be like this. So what is covers at least? If it is 0, then 1, because the page count cannot be 0. So it avoid from crash. Minimum value should be 1. So we implemented pager state 2, and we just pass the URLs. Right. So before that, we need to check if page less than URLs dot size. Then we proceed this UI. And URL change everything. Just quick use URL. This is for local data, so I'm directly passed the URL. Okay, so hope this function is fine. And once run the after running, it will show like this. Yeah, our API call is working successfully. You can either scroll up or scroll down. This website contains all types of videos. So yeah, this function is working fine, but we need to handle the loading and error state for a perfect application. Hope until this was working fine, but we promised to add a pagination, which means first 10 videos only is downloaded first, right? So we need to proceed to load further videos once it reaches the limit. For this, I'm just going to use snapshot flow of pager state dot current page. So let's say it's second page, third page, that is current page. So it will check the page is changing or not, and distinct until changed dot collect. So it will collect when the page is got changed, so it avoids duplicates. And just check for launch on page changed with index. So index here it. So we need to write on page created on ViewModel function on page changed with index and int. So obviously it will return, it checks something like s.videos is empty, then return null if index less than s.size itself, -2, that also it return. Okay, So when it will trigger means, if for example if it has 10 videos loaded, if it reaches the 9th video, then meaning it should load, right? So fetch videos. If nothing is passed, then fetch the video. Also, if has more is not there, or S is on loading state, then also on it should call, just return. So on page changed, we need to fetch again and again the next set of videos. Next set of videos should be fetched by this next page, right? Pagination constants. So hope everything is working fine, and we need to show an updated UI for error states. For this, I am going to use, these are incremental changes only. Feel free to skip for better understanding. I am just implementing here. Column modifier dot fill max size. Take the entire page. Content alignment is center. Sorry, it's not a vertical arrangement. Like padding, here we need to pass the IT, and background is black. Color dot black, right? So same as that. We need to pass this. Top level. Then we are checking the state dot error not equal to null. So there is some error in this state. We need to show some UI, or else URLs dot is empty and still it's loading state. Or URLs are just empty only. So that won't happen, right? So yes, we just show this vertical page. So when should the error come? If there is no internet connections, kind of errors will come. So for this, I'm going to use a box for full page and content alignment center. The box can have a column with horizontal alignment, center horizontally, and text should be state.error. So here I'm just going to show the error message with text color something like color.white. These are obvious, you can know, right? Column means top and bottom, vertical arrangement of data, and text button on click. ViewModel.retry. Same. Just here I'm going to use a retry text. Okay, cool. If we click retry, it just go on retry here. That also is simple function only. copy error is null, and fetch videos. So when we click retry, it's just gonna fetch the videos. And simple. Here we can go to use this box alone with some simple circulars in progress indicator. Fine. OPOI part is completely fine. And this error indication alone is pending. So again say it's a function alternative functions only. Feel free to skip. But it's good for a big level products. So you can see the status underscore status updating the data, while here you can directly fetch the state for reading the data. Sorry, if it.copy loading false and error equal to this message, else just it.copy error. Here we're going to use a fail method of no internet connection. Here we're going to use the fail method again with error string concatenation of e.message. Cool. Hope the app won't crash at any cases because we added all the try catch exceptions. This is for a perfect high level product. So the implementation are done with paginations and loading the data. Let's run the project finally. Here you can see the loaders are there. Swipe that data. Once it reaches the 8th or 9th video, it again make a API call to fetch furthermore data. So that is about this implementation. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for third part.